4 men won a court award of more than $100 million to compensate them for being wrongly imprisoned for 3 decades. They spent all that time in jail because the FBI framed them. It used testimony against them that it knew was false. The FBI knew the men were innocent, but decided that sending them to jail was a good idea because it would help protect a criminal who was acting as an informant and was helping the FBI with other cases. 2 of the men whom the FBI framed died in jail. Their families will get the money. It seemed pretty shocking to think that the FBI, which is part of the U.S. Department of Justice, would deliberately break the law and ruin people's lives like that. Shocking, but maybe not surprising. 82% of the people who read the story and responded to an online poll said they weren't surprised that the FBI would do such a terrible thing. That's what we expect from our government: lies and illegality. If so many people think their government is corrupt, you might think that the people would quickly put an end to the corruption. The people are supposed to be in charge of the government, after all. But maybe just because people expect the FBI to lie doesn't mean they disapprove of the government lying. The poll didn't ask that question. Maybe 82% or some other large percent of our country not only isn't surprised that law enforcement officers lie, maybe they like it like that. Our vernacular includes words like frontier justice and jailhouse justice. These terms connote approval of illegal conduct that brings about a fair result. Our TV shows and movies are awash with Dirty Harry type figures who are heroes because they kill the bad guys instead of going to the trouble of bringing them to trial. Our entertainers joke about people in custody being raped and killed by other prisoners, as if the judgment of convicts was a satisfactory substitute for trial in a court of law. It seems that a large number of people here in the U.S. have embraced the totalitarian concept that the end justifies the means. They may also think that it's okay for some innocent people to suffer if that makes it easier to get some bad guys. If it's okay to kill innocent Iraqis and call their deaths collateral damage, what could be wrong with killing or imprisoning innocent Americans? One of the men who was framed said that nothing could make up for what our government did to him, but at least his kids and grandkids would have some extra money that might make their lives a little easier. How much money would you be willing to take to be put in jail for 30 years for something you never did? How happy do you think your children and grandchildren would be spending the money after having spent their lives trying to keep believing you were innocent, even though you had been convicted in what all their friends believed was a fair trial? How happy will the money make them, knowing it was a payoff for having deliberately ruined a loved one's life? The people who accept the idea that our government can break its own laws probably don't give a lot of thought to those sorts of consequences. They might be more concerned if they considered that someone they know could be the victim the next time the FBI feels like sacrificing someone in order to make its job easier.